Hi, welcome to today's video. So today's video is all about holiday makeup releases. A couple of luxury brands have already kind of revealed their holiday collections for this year. And unfortunately, a lot of them don't seem to be that appealing. In fact, I was kind of disappointed with a lot of the luxury brands. In fact, Clé de Peau, Chanel, Dior, Hourglass. I mean, the collections, they're pretty, but nothing was kind of speaking to me in a way that I wanted to put it on my wish list or, I wanted to like really spend the money and buy it. They kind of, some of them, for example, Hourglass, the palettes, they just basically look very similar to the palettes that they've released in the last couple of years, and it's all about just the packaging. And yeah, frankly, at this point, I don't know if I'm ever going to buy an Hourglass palette because every year I kind of wait to see if I would want that one, and then every year the packaging is nice, but I don't know, I'm just not like ready to pull the trigger. And again, this year is the same thing where the packaging is nice, but I'm not really ready to actually spend that money on those powders. So yeah, so some of these releases have disappointed me. Similarly, the Dior one as well, they've released like an eyeshadow, their backstage eyeshadow a palette, which I've heard like the eyeshadow palettes from the backstage collection are pretty hit or miss. And also, I'm not really wearing that much eyeshadow these days, so I cannot justify spending money on it. And then they also came out with like a face squad, which again is not really my thing. The colors just don't seem like I would use them, and it kind of looked like just a highlighter palette to some extent, and I don't think I need like 2-3 shades of highlighter in one palette. So yeah, so that's basically a whole bunch of products that kind of just like it's gone already. It's already out of my mind in some ways because of how I was just not thrilled or not excited seeing it. But there were a couple of releases recently that I saw that have kind of ignited that little bit of excitement for the holiday releases. So first off is the release from NARS. Now the NARS holiday collection, I think, is called, let me just pull it up. It's called the 24 karat collection, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, I think, yeah, that's what it's called. And they've basically come out with like the the face palette, which they sort of release every year for the holiday as well as in the summer. And the face palette looks okay. There is like they've released basically 2 different colorways. So the face palette is called the Pure Luxury Light Reflecting Cheek and Eye Palette. So you can use these powders on your eyes as well. Now this particular palette, it comes in like 2 different colorways, like I was saying, and the light to medium one is just absolutely calling my name. The swatches of those shades, they just look really pretty, and I somehow feel like I want them. Now, I am quite disappointed with the outside packaging of this NARS palette because it looks pretty plain. It's just basically gold. There's nothing, I don't know. It just looks a little boring to me. I would have liked for it to have some sort of details on it or something, or even at least the powders to have some sort of imprint on it. Something that makes it a little bit different from like, a general NARS face palette that they would release maybe even in the summer. So yeah, so that's the only negative here, but otherwise I think this palette looks really beautiful and I might just pick it up. I'm not sure. It is priced at I think $60 if I'm not wrong. Let me just check. I think it's 60. And that is pretty much basic standard NARS pricing, and if you wait for like Black Friday, I think you can get it at a better deal. So I might probably wait for the sales to come in. I'm not in like any sort of urgency to buy it. And another product from this particular 24 karat line that has really caught my eye is the Gold Dust Light Reflecting Setting Powder. So this is basically their pressed powder, face powder, which is kind of like an all over finishing powder, I believe. And this one is different from the regular one that they have in their line in the fact that they have this sort of gold swirl through it. So it kind of looks more of a yellow toned powder, and the regular one looks very, very white. At least in the swatches, and that's kind of scared me from buying it multiple times, although I like the whole idea of having like all over finishing powder which kind of gives you like that glow. And this one, because of that yellow undertone from that gold marble swirl, I think might be better for my skin tone. So I'm kind of excited, and I hope to see some reviews before I decide whether I want this or not. So this is currently priced, I think it's priced at like $40, which I think again is very similar to their usual pricing for their powder products like this. And this particular one, again, the packaging is again just very plain. It's plain gold with NARS written in purple. I kind of like the fact that they've written NARS in purple versus the face palette where it was written in green, and I kind of don't like that color combo for some reason. Yeah, anyway, those are small details which kind of some of like small details which I noticed and which I thought I would talk about. Now this collection also has like their usual small little gift packs which consist of things like their what's it called again, their mascara as well as eyeliner, and then they have like a mini light reflection setting powder set for $30 which comes with a puff. It also has the Afterglow lipstick and mini liquid blush duo. Now that actually looks very interesting to me. That's priced at $35, and it's a very nice kit to give someone, I think. And if you really like the Climax eyeliner, they do have like the mini mascara set as well. And these are kind of things which you see very regularly from NARS every holiday, so that's why I'm kind of like going through them a little quickly. For me, the main products this year are basically, at least in my opinion, the main products are the cheek and eye palette and the gold dust light reflecting setting powder, which looks very different from the usuals, and it's basically a limited edition one. So yeah, they also have something which has caught my eye, and that is the Gold Rush eyeshadow singles, which is priced at $22. Now, I've heard really good things about NARS eyeshadows. I personally haven't tried any NARS eyeshadow, actually, come to think of it. And like I said, because I'm not really using eyeshadow so much these days, I'm going to skip over it. But if I was still like in my era of, 2016, 2020, when I was wearing a lot of eyeshadow, I would have probably picked that one up. So I really like these kind of single eyeshadows. They're easy to use, easy to throw on in a purse and take with you when traveling. So I kind of like it, and I like that it's a gold shade, which is kind of pretty versatile. A lot of people like to use gold eyeshadows, so that's a nice color as well. So that was the NARS collection that caught my eye. And similarly, another collection which is actually packaged with a lot of gold is the holiday collection from Tarte. And Tarte usually comes out with a huge range of products every holiday, so I'm not sure if this is like the only stuff that they're releasing and if there's more coming, but as of now, they've released quite a few gift sets. And some of the more prominent ones, which again really caught my eye, is this Golden Era Amazonian Clay Collector's Set. And this one is basically 3 eyeshadow palettes which have kind of a very bright gold packaging, and that's why I'm saying it seems to be gold is some sort of a theme this year with some of these companies, with everything just gold. This one, the eyeshadow palette, I like. I don't know, I'm not sure how the quality is, because sometimes some of the holiday collections from Tarte, the eyeshadows, the quality is not as good as their regular line. I personally have the Juicy palette from Tarte, and I really love it. And again, I haven't touched it in a while, so yeah, so basically I'm not going to be buying this. But if you are in the market for an eyeshadow palette, usually Tarte's eyeshadow quality is good. I'm not so sure about this one, but it looks interesting and it looks promising. So yeah, if I was still using eyeshadow and buying eyeshadow, I would have probably picked that particular trio up because it looks interesting to me. Similarly, another set which has really caught my eye is also another Tarte gift set which has an eyeshadow palette in it, and that's the big screen must-have set. And this one, the eyeshadow palette actually looks slightly more muted in color tone compared to the one in the previous set. This one has very everyday friendly colors in my opinion. The other one had really bright pinks, which probably don't work on a regular basis for most people. This one is more of an everyday kind of palette. It's got really soft pinks, it has gold, it has like those nice neutral colors which everybody likes to use on a regular basis. So I really like the palette in this particular set, and it also comes with a lip liner as well as one of their juicy, I don't know, I think it's the juicy, let me see, which one is it? It's the lip plump. So I've heard good things about the juicy lip plump. I have not tried the maracuja lip plumping or the whole lip line from Tarte. I have actually not tried it. I might actually pick up one of the holiday sets to kind of try it out this year, because they have come out with like the best of maracuja juicy lip set, which looks very interesting. It has all the different formulas. So if you want to try, you know, the lip plumping version, if you want to try the lip vinyl version, the lip oil version, they have like all of that in that set. So it's a nice way to, I think, try out the different formulas they have. So that is an interesting set as well. And then of course they have their usual sets, which basically have like their mascara and their liner, and also things like the two different types of mascara, the tubing mascara, the light lashes mascara. Like they have the usual ones which you see every year. Now another product that has really caught my eye, which is again a face palette, is from the Tarte holiday collection, which is called, let me just pull that up, it's called the Glow Squad Amazonian Clay Palette. Now this one looks very much like the Hourglass palettes in my opinion. It looks like the same type of baked formula, and the palette is actually made in Italy as well, and it's priced I think at $45. I think, yeah, it's priced at $45. So I'm hoping to catch a sale from Tarte sometime soon and maybe pick this up during that sale, because this looks very interesting to me. I'm very curious to see how this formula would be. They have two different colorways. They have one which is called Volume 1, which I think is more for deeper skin tones, and then they have Volume 2, which looks more for light to medium skin tones. So I'm kind of confused which one I want to try, because they both look very nice. The Volume 1, which has like the deeper shades, looks very, like the blushes look really nice and intense and rich. And the second one, Volume 2, has actually more of a nicer highlighter shade, the kind of shade I would probably use. So yeah, I'm not sure which one I would pick, but I would kind of pick up one of these for sure during any sale that Tarte might do in the next few months. So and usually I think Tarte does like this huge 40% sale maybe like a couple of weeks before Black Friday. I've noticed that they do it a few weeks before Black Friday, and on Black Friday it's usually not you know, the percentage off is not as high as 40. So I might just pick it up for the 40% off sale if it's included in that sale. So this looks interesting to me. Let me know if you've tried any of these products and what you think about them, because I am very, very curious to know how this one is. And similarly, another blush related product from Tarte which has come out for the holidays is the Stay Golden Amazonian Clay Cheek Set. Now this one looks really beautiful. I love both the colorways that they have. They have one which is pinks and corals, and they have another one which is titled, let me see, what is that one called? Reds and Berries. And both of them look really pretty, and this is also priced at $45. So you get like, how many blushes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 5 blushes for $45, which is actually a very nice price tag in my opinion. And both the pinks and coral set as well as the reds and berries set is just really calling my name. I'm probably again going to have a bit of a confusion on which one to buy. So again, I will wait for reviews and see what people think about the quality of these products, because you know, sometimes, as with Too Faced, Tarte as well, I feel their holiday palettes sometimes are not the same quality as their regular products, including like these blush packs which they come out with every year. This year, I don't know why. I think it's because the powders have like those different patterns imprinted on them, and you know, the whole gold packaging, and also the colors that they've chosen this year is just generally a little different from what they've been doing all these years, and that's kind of making me want it. So yeah, so let me know if you've tried this, or yeah, or if you're planning to buy this as well, because I am really tempted, and I actually have a ton of blushes, so I ideally don't really need any of this, but you know, it's just That's what I was talking about. Like, this video is all about the makeup releases, the holiday releases that are really calling my name. So this is one of them. So yeah, so I'm actually excited about the Tarte release. There are two things primarily that I'm excited about. That's the first one is that the cheek quad. The second one is this cheek set. And also maybe I might try one of those lipstick, the Maracuja Juicy Lip, the gift packs, because I think it's interesting to try out all the different formulas in that line. So yeah, so this is something again that has really caught my eye. Yeah, so that was all about Tarte, and again, really excited about the blush palettes and the blush, the individual blush pack. So yeah, so, and NARS also is actually like a blush palette that I'm actually very keen on, so I might have to like choose one. I can't buy all these blush products, so it's going to be a little bit tricky. So, and it's not even like October yet, so I'm guessing there's going to be more holiday releases being revealed as the weeks go by, even as I'm talking right now. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what I eventually pick up. So right now, these things have really caught my eye. So yeah, so the next thing that actually caught my eye is from the brand Benefit. Usually Benefit's holiday releases, I never really look into it, except I always look out for their cheek trios. They always release like a cheek palette during the holidays, and I always like to see what they have. Like last year's cheek palette was also pretty good, but I eventually, I think, decided not to get that because I was buying something else, so it kind of got eliminated from my list. This year, I don't know, maybe I might buy the cheek palette this year. They have two different color versions for this year's blush cheek palette, or the blush palette. One is called the Chocolata palette, Chocolata blush palette, which basically has the dandelion. It's not exactly a blush, although they've actually mentioned it as a blush. I think dandelion is more like a highlighter. Dandelion, and they have Shelly, and they have a limited edition shade called Cherry, which looks very interesting to me. So that's one. And the second one is called Chocolicious Cheeks, and this one contains the bronzer Hoola, which I absolutely love. So again, this is a great palette for me. And the other two blushes are called, let me just check. I think one is Villa, which I don't have. I actually have the blush Krista, which is a very beautiful blush. I really like that shade. It's like a very nice strawberry pink shade on my cheeks. Yeah, so this one has the shades Hoola, Villa, and the limited edition shade called Cherry. So again, I'm not sure which palette I want to buy. I might most likely go with this one because my Hoola is quite old and I need to replace it anyway, so I might as well buy a blush palette with Hoola in it. So yeah, I might potentially pick this one up too, and this is priced at I think $32. Yeah, it's interesting. Actually, one of the first blush palettes that I had from Benefit, which was maybe like 5-6 years ago. I think the price was $25 for the same kind of same size palettes, three blushes, and yeah, the prices have gone up quite a bit. So that's interesting to kind of remember. Yeah, the rest of the products from Benefit's holiday line don't really speak to me. I'm not much of a Benefit, what do you call it, mascara person. But they do have like the lash set, which they again bring about every year. So again, nothing new. And then they have their skincare set. They have like a lot of gift sets, and all of them is themed around like food products and grocery products. Like you have the lash set is basically packaged like tinned tuna, and then they have like a skincare set which is looking like a Folgers coffee tin. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, it doesn't really remind me of holidays, but it's kind of fun. I like the retro look of the packaging. But then again, most of the products I am not really into any of them except for the blushes. So yeah, so I'm probably going to be skipping most of them. The only other thing which really caught my eye from the Benefit holiday release is this Treat Yourself Gorgeous palette, which basically it's got eyeshadows as well as blushes, but it's priced pretty high. It's like $52, and they have let me just check how many blushes and how many. So they basically have three blushes, which is Krista, Shelly, and Blossy. I haven't heard of the blush Blossy. Maybe that's again another limited edition one. And then they have 6 different eyeshadows. Now the eyeshadow shades look really nice. And like I said, I already have the blush Krista, so it's highly unlikely I will pick this particular palette up. And again, the eyeshadows, I have a lot of eyeshadow which I'm not even using at this point, so I most likely will skip this palette. But if you are in the market for a nice compact palette, maybe you can check it out. Benefits eyeshadow, I think I've heard pretty decent reviews about them in the past. They haven't done much of an eyeshadow palette or anything in the recent past, but long ago they did have a few and they were pretty okay. So I'm not sure how the formula is for these. If you've tried them, or if you have had a chance to swatch these, do let us know in the comments how these work out, because yeah, I'm kind of curious about the eyeshadow formula as well. So that was Benefit. Now the other holiday release that kind of got me interested again is from NYX, and NYX has this time gone with packaging for their holiday collection, which looks very much like Too Faced. It kind of reminds me of old school Too Faced when they used to do a lot of the gingerbread type of packaging. From NYX this year is basically looking very similar to how Too Faced basically packages their holiday stuff. It's got a gingerbread man on it and everything. I'm kind of curious to check that one out. So they have it in multiple shades. They have the shade called Sugar Cookie Swirl, which is kind of, it looks very nice. It probably might be what I might pick up from, you know, the lip product range from NYX. And the other product that has really caught my eye again in the NYX holiday line is the Buttermelt Face Palette. And this has got the blush as well as the bronzer in them. And it comes in 2 different colorways. They have one which is in the light range, and then they have one which is medium. And I believe the shades in this palette, the blush shades as well as the bronzer shades, are from their Butter Bronzer and the Butter Blush range. So if you like me, if you've been wanting to try those blushes and the bronzers that were released by NYX recently and you haven't yet done that, this is probably a nice way to explore the formula as well as the colors, because they have both the blush as well as the bronzer in a single palette. And again, the palette packaging looks very similar to Too Faced. I don't know if this is tin packaging or paper. I think it's paper. Yeah, it's paper packaging, but even these days Too Faced is doing paper packaging, cardboard packaging, not paper, sorry, cardboard packaging. So yeah, it looks very much like Too Faced to me. And the two colorways, I kind of feel like the darker one looks more appealing. I'm not so sure about the orange looking shade in the lighter colorway, so I don't know. Again, I have to make some decisions regarding which one I want to pick up, but this is again something I might. It's priced at $18, which is, I think, okay. Again, NYX products also go on sale before Christmas. Their holiday collections always go on sale before Christmas, so I might just wait for that and then pick it up during a sale. So yeah, so this is actually, like I said, an interesting way to try out their butter blushes as well as their butter bronzer if you have not tried it out yet. And this was something on my list of things I wanted to try, so this palette is probably going to come home with me unless I hear bad reviews about it. But yeah, I should probably check if any reviews are out yet. And again, if anyone's tried this palette out, please let me know what you think about it, if it is the same quality as the actual standalone products in the NYX line. So yeah, so that is another holiday collection that caught my eye. Now last, I would like to talk about Bobbi Brown. Bobbi Brown always excites me with their holiday collections. In fact, last year I picked up their holiday face palette, which I really love. And so this year I was kind of looking forward to seeing what they have, and the packaging looks really nice and it's stunning. And the only thing is the main product that caught my eye is an eyeshadow palette, and I'm so tempted to buy it. It's not yet been released. I only saw it on Instagram and it was shared by Amit Beauty Talk. And she's like a nice Instagram handle to follow if you like to see all the latest releases in the luxury market. And this particular eyeshadow palette was just, I don't know, it just speaks to me. I really want to buy it, but then again, I'm not using that much eyeshadow, so I'll just see. I'll see if I'm actually going to be using any of my current eyeshadow palettes in the next few months, and if I do, maybe by Christmas time, I might just pick that up because I really love the colors in that. I love the packaging. I love everything about it, and Bobbi Brown's eyeshadow formula is generally pretty good. Even the holiday palettes usually are formulated really well. So yeah, so that palette might come home with me by Christmas time. If, like I said, I've put a condition for myself, if I use the current eyeshadow palettes that I have, then maybe I can buy this one. So let's see. Other thing from Bobbi Brown which has really caught my eye is this eyeshadow duo set, which I found at Nordstrom, and it's priced at $45. So it basically consists of an eyeshadow duo set, a mascara, as well as an eyeliner. Now that eyeshadow duo set, there's one colorway called Luminous Smoke, which just looks so beautiful, and I think I really want that one. The other one they have is called Gilded Gleam, and that is more of a, what do you say, warm tone color shade colorway, which I probably won't use that much. So if at all I want an eyeshadow from Bobbi Brown, I have to probably decide if I want that big palette or if I want this one, and because both of them are just equally appealing, and yeah, I just cannot I cannot stop myself. It looks so beautiful. And last year I remember the eyeshadow duos that they released sold out really quickly, so this one also might potentially sell out quickly. But this year the difference is that they're selling it as a set along with the mascara as well as the eyeliner. So yeah, I don't know, I have to decide if I'm going to use these eyeshadows or not, because yeah, I just really need to get back to using some of my eyeshadows again. So yeah, so those were all the new exciting holiday releases that I recently came across. I actually have been busy with a lot of other things, so I haven't been following a lot of new releases lately, and just like a couple of days ago I decided to check out all the new holiday releases, and that's how I found all of these. And yeah, like I said, initially all the luxury ones which I saw were kind of, you know, making me not so excited, but then I finally came across these a bunch of releases which are kind of exciting. So let me know what you think of all the holiday releases so far, and I'm sure there's going to be more coming up in the next few months. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until we see again, bye.